Welcome to the Q1 2024 earnings call for Regency Petroleum Company Limited, JSE ticker RPL. This quarter, RPL would have done 121% better in revenues than Q1 of 2023, and that's a big deal. So the team is here today to give context around the performance of the company over this quarter. So we encourage you, regardless of the platform that you are listening or watching from, to enter your questions in the live chat, and those will be addressed during the question and answer section with CEO Andrew Williams and Financial Controller Jerry Grant, both of whom are here today to take us through the performance of RPL for Q1 2024. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Andrew Williams, CEO of RPL.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Renee. Welcome to another earnings call to LGI for facilitating this process.
You're welcome.
With a word of prayer, let us pray. Heavenly Father, as we come to you once more this day, we thank you for life. We thank you for all your blessings and mercies upon us. We thank you for this company and what it has been doing and what you have planned for it. We surrender to you now, our Father, and we ask that your will be done in our lives and within this company. We thank you for this opportunity once more to share with our shareholders and the audience of the performance of the company. And we thank you for this avenue in which we can share it. We continually give you thanks, O Father, and we ask your blessings once more on this company and each and every one of us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Over to you, Andrew.
Welcome again. Welcome again to our earnings call for Q1 2024. And this Q1 report for this year, for 2024, is a significant one. It's a quarter representing a Am I still on? Okay. Of what has been projected. Now, for Q1 2024, we had an increase, as Renee said earlier, in our revenues. We had increases in our revenues of amounting to $404 million for the quarter. From that, we had a 16.93% gross margin increase, and this is quarter over quarter. Q1 2024 comparison to Q1 2023. We had a $68.5 million gross profit. Is a 111% increase in our gross profit. Profits before tax, $33.76 million. Our asset base increased by 721 to 721.47 million, and our shareholders' equity 468.55. So the shareholders' equity had a 15% increase. Asset base had a 60% increase. All these increases is not a surprise to us, the organizational structure and the management of the company. We have always stated that the company is in a growth stage, and we should, based on our targets, experience these levels of increases, which we actually did better than what we forecasted or targeted. So it's a confirmation, however, of our organizational structure, our management team, and our performance and our projections and how accurate we are with that. So I'm quite pleased to say that our machinery is well oiled and tuned in terms of our forecast. So we're not just going out making promises or stating figures that we are not experiencing or will not experience. So it is happy. I mean, this also builds confidence, I would say, in our shareholders, in our audience, and just the general public who observe our operations and see the company's operations, follow the company's operations from time to time, and even our interviews and what we actually forecast and project. So we are pleased to announce these figures, and
So, or apologies, it does seem like Andrew is having some technical difficulties on his side. We will continue to wait. We'll wait a bit to see if that returns. But in the meantime, we will shift over to the financial review.
That has accounted for increases in our revenue significantly. And
Andrew,
we had also increased. Yes?
Or apologies. I just ask you to repeat what you were saying last. You were frozen for a bit. So you can repeat and then continue. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So we have, as I just stated, we have experienced what we have projected over the past quarter, and this helps to build confidence in the company, and also confirms that we have an oiled machinery in place in terms of our management team, our whole organizational structure, and our method of operations. We had projected significant increases in revenues and profits, and we have now completed a quarter where we have experienced all of these, what we have been speaking about. And we have more to experience, more increases to experience. So we are pleased, and this confirms that what we project, or what we have projected, is actual figures, and figures that we can actually realize. We're not just speaking about increased profits, increased our revenues, and the company is not realizing it. So we have strategies in place, and we have more methods of which we do our analysis and our evaluations, and it has proven, it has come to fruition, and we will continue on that path. Now we have opened our service stations, our Westmoreland service stations, which would have been Paradise and Negril Paradise last quarter last year, and Negril the first quarter of this year, which contributed to the increase in revenues. We also had an 8% increase in our LPG, bulk LPG primarily, sales. Negril station open, Spanish Town Road station should be opened in Q2. If all goes well. And we have had an increase in our earnings per share from 0.014 to 0.24. Our asset base grew, as I stated earlier, 60%. And our profit before tax increased by 71%. So that you're talking about quarter last year, Q1 last year, 2023, and Q1 this year, 2024. We had our AGM, which was in Q2, just to briefly mention it. So we started out the year, and pushing on. So we had our annual report and our AGM in the first quarter, which is a good, significant accomplishment also for the company to have had that in the beginning part of the year, the first quarter. So I will know, that were just the highlights. So I will now move on to my number one, the number one CFO, Jerry Grant.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams. As the CEO has said, this is our best quarter so far. Sales has increased to 404 million. Could you put this slide up? Okay, thanks a lot. That work out to a 121% increase, and that's a tremendous increase quarter to quarter. Real proud of that achievement. Gross profit increased by 111%. So even though we have significant cost of sales, mainly due to increased trucking costs, we were able to keep and to increase our gross profit over the quarter from 32 million to 68 million. Operating the profit before taxation the best ever also, 33 million, increased by 71%. As being listed company, we are still benefiting from the tax breaks, and there is no taxation charge to the figures, so the profit before tax and net profit remain the same. Earnings per share increased by 71%, so it's moved from 0.014 to 0.024 over the quarter. Can I see the next slide, please? Thanks. Okay, let's look at our balance sheet. Our cash resources still pretty strong. It decreased by about approximately 10 million, 21%. It's showing 39 million at the end of Q1. Our property, plant, and equipment, well, that increased 434 million, so it's a 33% increase. Significant increase in our accounts receivables. Let me elaborate a little on that. The increase is due mainly to deposit and lease, in particular the Negril location. Trade receivables remain pretty good, manageable, nothing to concern ourselves. Our long-term borrowings in Q1, that's the last year, 2023, there was none. Everyone know at this stage that we have a bond. So it's been reflected in the Q1 for 2024 here. Accounts payable, 53% increase, that due mainly to the amount of gas station we now have in operation. Trade payables is being managed, and no concern there at this moment. Our cash from operation, cash outflow 21 million for the period, and cash used by investing activity, that is due mainly to the property, plant, and equipment activity there for 5,924,000 at the end of Q4. So those has been attributable to the activity with the gas station. And cash used in financing activity, mainly due from the operating lease, nothing significant there. Our equity, no movement in the share capital. Retained earnings increased by 19%, so that's good. Our accumulated profits showing 208 million, so that's good, pretty good. Okay, Mr. Williams will now look at the company outlook.
Thank you, Jerry. Okay, so regarding our outlook for the balance of 2024 and moving in the short term 2025, we intend to complete, first of all, our Spanish Town Road location and have it in operation. We have seen our results from opening of Paradise Service Station in August of last year and Negril January of this year. Well, mid-January. So basically for the first quarter, we would have had 2.5 months of operation of both service stations, new service stations, which we can see the results from that. Now, we want to experience revenues and profits from having these 3 service stations open, which will be Spanish Town Road, Paradise, which is already open, and Negril. So our outlook in the very short term is to have these 3 stations operating and to experience 2 quarters of revenues and results. Now, we plan to expand in our automotive fuel via service stations across the island. So, as I always say, if something comes on the table, similar to Spanish Town Road, yes. But currently, we are not actively seeking out any form of construction of a service station under for Regency Petroleum currently. We're not seeking out any form of construction. We are seeking to expand. And as I always say, the approval processes will take time. So yes, our outlook, we are always seeking room or forms of expansion for the automotive fuel. Regarding the LPG, we will allow it to grow organically. And we have strategies in place that we have employed certain strategies for the company to grow. And as I said, we are pleased to see the results. And it's proof that whatever we have in place and our operations, our strategies that we have in place, it has proven fruitful and successful, especially in these times when you find that the majority of companies in Jamaica are not experiencing these massive increases in revenues. So we are extremely pleased to be experiencing that. And again, it proves that what we have in place in our planning, especially for our planning, targeting, our targets that we have set for us, effective, and we will to trust in the Lord, which we have been doing, and this is a clear indication that He has carried us through, and He has a significant input in the operation of the company for us to be experiencing what we have projected, and predicted, and targeted, and this is based on calculation. So it's not a situation where we say, boy, I must say this is actually a result of our faith in Him also, because it's not a situation where we just go and say, we're going to experience revenues and profits and we're going to pray to God and have faith in Him and hope that profit will increase. No, we actually look to Him to guide us in our operations. And I can't stress on that enough, because quarter after quarter to come and quarter after quarter gone by, our faith has carried us through, and our dependence on Him to lead us has carried us this far. And it's only more encouragement for us to continue along that path. And we will see continued success, I am sure. Because we are a Jamaican-owned company, and we want to see our country grow, and we want to see our economy grow. As we have I can mention that now. We have our membership card that has been in the making for some time now, but it's coming to the cusp, we're coming close to the end now, where we will, in a very short order, have our membership cards, which will be a platinum membership card and a gold membership card. Now, one of the first requisites would have to be you have to be a Jamaican to have one of the cards. Jamaican means not a resident or a citizen, but just Jamaican by birth or a Jamaican person. So we want to include each and every Jamaican to have, because we're already listed on the stock exchange. We're a Jamaican-owned company by members, by Jamaican citizens, Jamaican residents. So we want to further include each and every one, and to be a part of Regency Petroleum, and I mean feel their worth within Regency by becoming a member of Regency and experience benefits that we will have. There's a number of benefits that cannot be stated on this platform currently, but we have our website, www.rplgas.com, where you can visit the website, and you will see all the offerings of each card, of each category of cards. So we have the platinum and the gold card. You a lot of benefits from that, and it's easy sign up. You can sign up online, easy registration, easy sign up, and this is exclusive for Jamaicans, the diaspora. I mean, Jamaicans abroad, Jamaicans locally, But we are a Jamaican company. I want our Jamaicans to benefit significantly from this venture that we have put in place. And we're a pioneering company. We always try to pioneer first world technology, and thus far it has been going quite well for us. We have come on board with a number of ventures, which 99 or 100% of them have proven very successful for the company. And we will continue to on that path also. So in briefly, in a nutshell, for the looking at the company's outlook, we will continue our service stations are where we are now. We will continue operations of the two recent ones. We look forward to the opening of Kingston very soon, and we are always scouting out for approval processes. But in the short term, short to medium term meaning the end of 2024 to the first or second quarter of 2025. We just want to experience profits and revenues from these service stations again. If something comes on the table, and we will aggressively, as long as it's feasible for the shareholders and for the company, we will aggressively, look at it and do our due diligence on whatever venture that might come forth. If that happens, to aid in our expansion of the company. So we're looking forward to a very, very, very bright future. And again, we have all our trust and confidence in the Lord to carry us through. So thanks everyone for allowing us or for attending this earnings call. And we're looking forward to the question and answers now and question and answers to come in the future.
Thank you so much, Andrew, and congratulations to the RPL team for a great quarter. Clearly, the results are showing that you have done well and that the support is there from the Jamaican public. So congratulations. I am going to add both of you back to the platform and remind persons that whichever platform you are watching from, you are invited to add your questions or comments to the live chat, and those will be addressed during this section, during the question and answer section. If it is that you're watching it on the replay, then feel free to still add it in the comments section, and those will be passed on to the RPL team for them to address it at another time. So I'll start off with the first question from Humble Boss, and he's stating that he notices that the Negril Cafe is not yet open. Why is that?
Okay, for Negril, it is a rented location for one. It's a leased location property. However, there's still some construction processes being done by the landlord with regards to facilitate a cafe per se, and we also have some equipment that we are awaiting. So it's a combination of both things. So we should soon, I would say, very short order, we should have a definitely in Q2 would have the cafe open.
Okay, thank you for that. The next question is, what is the expected timeline for the next gas station? I take it that this is the Spanish Town Road location, which you would have mentioned before. Q2, yes. All right. What is the size of the team at RPL now in terms of the number of employees?
Okay, so we have different categories of employees. We have from pump attendants to supervisors, administrative in-house staff, accounting, operations, sales. So currently we have a staff complement of over 77 members of staff currently, and more to come with the opening of the new service station and others.
Okay, thank you. And I take it that question is likely connected to the admin and general expenses, because as we know, there would have been a significant increase there. So right. There in previous earnings calls, you would have spoken to there needing to be an increase as you prepare to open additional service stations. And that is what we're seeing come to fruition now, right? So the next question actually is, how do you intend to manage the admin and general expenses? And I'll ask both of you to chime in on this one.
Okay, so these additional administrative expenses and general expenses, these were forecasted prior to the opening of the service stations. If anyone who have been following us, they would remember that we say, boy, we will engage, I will employ a lot of technology in our system to reduce and to maximize and make it more effective, our personnel, our staffing. So basically, we have strategies in place that, as we can see in Q1, we have had opening of Paradise service station and Negril service station with these additional expenses, but yet we were able to experience huge revenues and huge profits from these. So we have that strategy in place. I don't want to delve too much into our what we have in place, but yes, we have forecasted and we have been doing our due diligence for each. So we have a strong planning team in place, which I am a part of, and we as we grow and we forecast our growth and we forecast our expenses and we forecast and see how we can maximize our profits by cutting our costs in whatever way and making our company more cost effective. You know, we can benefit from that, because the more you save is the more you earn. So we have that policy that we will come, and that's a little secret. So the more we can save on our costs and be more effective, is the more the company will earn. And we use that mode of operation.
Thank you for that, Andrew. Jerry, do you have anything to add there?
I think Mr. Williams has done a good job. Basically, he has answered the question.
Okay, fantastic. So the next question is, does RPL plan to pursue any inorganic growth opportunities for 2024? I think, again, you would have addressed this in your remarks, Andrew, where you stated that for 2024, it is not that you're closed off. If an opportunity arises, then you look at it. However, it's not the plan. Correct?
Exactly. It's not. It's right. So right now we just want to have these services. We don't plan to do any form of construction or anything to we require any inorganic growth. You know. But if something comes on the table, we'll definitely look at it and we'll be in touch with you guys.
All right. So Swan in the Sky is saying that she has seen 2 gas stations in Westmoreland thus far. What factors are considered with the location of stations?
Well, again, I will not. We have strategies that we use to identify our locations, especially at where we are now in terms of the company's growth. So there are certain locations that we look at and we will say, no, we are not interested in that or those particular locations currently, but later on. But so currently, as I said, we have a strong planning team in place. So we already have certain locations. We have a map actually with locations that we are seeking out to develop in. And we have our reasons as to why we want to be located in these locations as regards to our service station. With regards to the LPG now, it's island-wide. We work organically. We just take it parish by parish and grow organically with the LPG. But for the automotive fuel, we have certain locations that we are interested in. I don't want to go too much into it. Why? But yes, we have a strategy in place, and it has been working so far for us. So just follow us, and you'll see how far where we go next.
All right, fantastic. Do you expect any delays in the opening of the Spanish Town Road location?
Well, for Q2, no, we are, I would say, at this point in time, 80% complete. We have all equipment on the ground. So we just to tidy up. We basically tidy up process. You know, I don't know if much of you know about construction, but when it comes down to finishes, that's very time consuming. You know, so anybody who has an experience in construction will know that. So we are in the finishing stage now. So we don't anticipate it will go over Q2 based on our experiences and our experience. But I must state that having this gas station completed in Q2 would be a record-breaking timeline for Regency, because this will be completed in less than a year, as opposed to the other 2 service stations which probably went over close to 2 years. So I can say that I'm pleased with our team, our management team, our structure we have in place, our machinery in place, and it's proven successful so far. And with God in the mix as usual, we should read the timeline. You know, I don't anticipate any disappointments with that, or delays with that.
So it sounds to me, Andrew, like you have, like, the team is learning the lessons from the previous
Exactly.
station, applying what you have learned. So
Right.
it is making
Right.
it more efficient as you go along, which is good.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So what do you make of the seeming market saturation of gas stations and its impact on potential future growth for RPL?
Man, we always welcome competition. Competition is what drives the market. And our company, we always welcome the competition. Now, as again, our strategies that we have in place. I can will I don't want to keep on saying our strategies in place, but we have proven ourselves to be competitive. We have proven ourselves to be successful with regards to increased revenues and profits, and what we have been stating over the past year. We're actually coming to realize what we have been projecting, which I'm quite pleased with, and we will stick to what we have, our strategies and our plans, what we have in place, and we have plans. I mean, for the long term, which we have plans for the short, medium, and long term. So, and everything has been proven successful so far. So we always welcome competition, and as I say, we're a Jamaican-owned company. We are pioneer ventures. We pioneer new things. We have new things that we have introduced to the sector or the industry, which has proven successful for us, and we will continue to do so. So this is what will set us apart, and apart from and to be able to exist within this industry successfully.
All right, beautifully said. Devon is asking if your brokers are actively working on the APO, know that the GOJ has announced that the junior market cap will increase to 750 million.
Okay, well, again, we have to be prudent in our decision making. So yes, the availability of funds is there, the avenue is there to raise funds, but we have to be prudent in what we do. So we are a growing company. We have to ensure that if we are going to do an AP or whatever, we have something, we have a projection for it, which I said prior to, which I keep saying that we just want to have these service stations. If something comes on the table and we need to go APO or bond or whatever we need to do for the funding, yes, definitely. We look at that. But currently, there's no active planning on that right now. But if something comes on the table, definitely we'll look at that. So we don't want to take money or just to take. We don't have any need for expansion, or we don't have any avenue to expand on currently, apart from to close out what we have started already. So if something comes on the table, fine.
So I would ask Jerry to also just to add to that in terms of the additional funds that would have been received last year, because I think sometimes with the questions about the APO and the additional fundraise, there might be there may be persons who are not aware of the funds that would have come in last year and how that has impacted the company so far.
Yes, the second tranche of the funds that was disbursed in the latter quarter of last year, which the main purpose was and is to really complete the construction of the gas station. What we have to understand, and investors have to understand also, that APO, there are implications for new shares on the market, right issues, additional whatsoever. So they are, in everything, there are advantage, disadvantage. You have to look at the whole picture. See when the advantage is right for that, and not just to rush into things just because you have the opportunity to do an APO. It have implication for everything, for the value of the shares, for everything. So you have to take all these things into consideration when making decision on behalf of the company and also of the entire shareholders.
All right. Thank you for that, Jerry. So there were a few other questions around capital raise. So I'll just take those as well, since we're in that line of conversation. Tryon is asking, can shareholder rights be maintained when the company considers its next capital raise in the coming future? I think he expounded on it. I'm sorry. In a case where cash isn't available for distribution, can shareholders be given shares instead?
No, in a case where, could you repeat that?
In a case where cash...
You broke up a bit.
Oh, sorry. In a case where cash is not available for distribution, can shareholders be given additional shares instead? Tryon, is this more of a dividend question? Please clarify and let us know.
Yes, I think he's referring to dividend. That's a fair question. I think that's a question that the board would have to consider and make.
And just to state on that, we definitely plan to pay dividends in cash. In cash. I mean, as soon as we have these, that's why we want to have these service stations operating and so forth, because we're the Regency will be a dividend paying company for sure. It's just at the stage that we are now, and we don't want. It's not a situation where we plan to wait out years before our dividend. We're just listed on the stock exchange for from 2022, a year and a half now, and we plan to pay dividends dividends. I don't say very soon, but we plan to pay dividends when the time is good, and it's not for too long. It's not in the long term. It will not be in the long term.
All right. I'm sure many persons are happy to hear that. All right. Our next question is, how does one become a partner with RPL for a gas station?
Okay, there are many avenues that can be taken. I don't know if we have enough time now can explain, but there are many different avenues that you can become a partner with RPL for a gas station. I would say you could send us an email, but I'll touch on one or two of them now, but just send us an email to info@rplgas.com and also operations@rplgas.com. So you can send to both emails, or copy to one. Send it to info and copy to operations. And so there are many different. I can touch on one. You have the opportunity, if you have the capital you want to invest, you have a company and you have the capital you want to invest, we can align ourselves with you. You invest in construction of a service station, and we'll do the branding, and we will give you the support and a franchise agreement. That's one avenue. If you have approved drawings already and approval for service stations on a property, we are also willing to franchise you, and we can enter into an agreement for that. And if you have property and want to have plans to erect a service station here, we can also be engaged on that, and we can have discussions on that. So that's just to name one, two, three different, and then we still have more avenues in which we can be partner. Because especially in a Jamaican, we want to see our Jamaican companies grow a cash, just not enough. So if you have a Jamaican company and you are in the industry in some form whatsoever, and you want to grow your company to a different level, and we can assist you in any way, we'll definitely take a look at it and see how best we can assist. Just like what we did at Spanish Town Road, because Spanish Town Road was basically a similar situation as a Jamaican-owned company that came to us, and we facilitated the process, and we're working together on that project, which hopefully we can see come to fruition in very short order in Q2, and both companies will benefit from that. So that's a clear example of what we have done, are in the process of doing.
Yes, thank you. So as you're speaking about Jamaican companies and helping to build companies, businesses in Jamaica, I think that's a good segue into this question. Are you looking at any partnerships similar to Just Gas for 2024? And I'd ask you to just reiterate what that partnership with Just Gas is about, in case we have anyone listening who is not aware.
Okay, so partnership with Just Gas. Just Gas is an LPG company. They are passionate about the LPG aspect, our segment of the business of petroleum, and they have invested significantly in assets required to operate a LPG primarily bulk distribution network. And in doing so, we admired the passion that they had, and they actually approached us to assist in whatever way we could, which we did. We gave them a franchise for particular locations in which they will be responsible to supply under an agreement, under an agreement. And since then, they have been growing significantly, and both companies have been growing significantly. Just Gas has been growing in their revenues and profits, and they have assisted in, we can see like an 8% increase in LPG growth for Regency, and this is primarily made up of that Just Gas agreement. So yes, we will look, if you are passionate about any segment of the business, whether automotive fuel or LPG, if you are passionate about it, you have an existing company or you plan to go into the business and you have capital you want to invest, we are open to any form of conversation and negotiations and agreements similar to Just Gas or whatever nature it might take, whether, again, if it's automotive or LPG. So we are always open. Just Gas is a Jamaican-owned company. They have the passion for the business. I mean, they just wanted some assistance from a marketing company, and we're a Jamaican marketing company, and you can see the success of that. It's shown in our figures, and you'll see it with Just Gas also.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Terrence has a question. He says he notices the growth in LPG has slowed down. What strategies will you be putting in place to increase the growth of this segment?
Okay, well, LPG in bulk has actually increased. I think what he's referring to, and I can be corrected, I'm making reference to LPG in household, our household aspect, which our house.
Okay, so it seems that we've lost Andrew for a little bit. So we're going to try again to continue responding. Jerry, I don't know if you have anything to add to that particular question about the LPG sales.
Not really. The strategy is that he's what I'm referring to is from his side.
Okay, all right, understood.
I'm not sure how much you want to reveal, because sometimes you switch segment based on what you see. It's an ongoing thing, and yes. I'm not sure how much you want to reveal of certain things. I just stay.
No worries. So while we await Andrew's return, there are two questions I think that you can answer for us. Terrence is asking, what method is used to depreciate the gas cylinders used by the business?
Okay, we use the straight line method at a rate that we think will write off the value, the cost over the life of that particular asset. I don't want to reveal the rate or anything like that right now, but it's a reasonable rate that I think will, with the life and the cost, we think it's really reasonable, and the auditor has no problem with it.
All right. And the next question from KB is, can I still buy RPL shares now?
Every day the market is open, so the stock market is there, so it's tradable, and it's it depends on who she can get who is willing to sell, but the market is there, so she just put it on order.
Yes, absolutely, Kay. You can purchase shares in RPL once the market is open. And I think Andrew is back with us. Wonderful. All right.
Sorry about that.
No problem. We understand. So you
were
in the process of answering questions.
Right. So let me go back. Let me start about with the LPG expansion.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So, I can be corrected. I think he was making reference to our household LPG, which is the 25 pound, 100 pound cylinders. Because for the bulk sales, we have actually seen increase in that. So for the household LPG, now this is actually, we have to grow it organically currently, because this is very, very capital intensive and it's very risky. This requires, for us to expand in our LPG household cylinders, we have to purchase significant quantities of these household cylinders and basically give them away. Not per se give them away for free, but what you give you basically charge a user fee, which is not more than say 15-20% of the cost of what these cylinders cost. No, we are putting them out to the general public, and it's very risky because there's no certainty of receiving these cylinders for refill in the proportion to which we issue them. So we have to gradually grow this industry region by region. What I can tell you is that we have been investing in cylinders continually, but as I say, it's very capital intensive and it requires a huge volume to cover the entire island or to go to a parish, to cover one parish. I can't even be more specific about it. You're talking about probably you need for a small average parish, rural parish, 10 to 15 containers, each container at a cost of over $10 million for one. So you're talking about probably an investment of 150-200 million US, 150-200 million Jamaican dollars to be invested per parish, which will be billions of dollars of investment to cover the entire island. But however, we are growing organically with the LPG. We recently received, especially some in particular, some 100-pound cylinders, which we have launched out in Hanover, St. Elizabeth, and broader sections of Westmoreland. So we have taken the market with that, and the response is always significant and great because we're getting calls from Trelawney, Portland, all over the island. Request for our demand for our cylinders, but we have, as I said, you're talking about billions of dollars worth of investment, or huge, high hundreds of millions to $1 billion, or close to $2 billion investment to really, So I would say growth in the LPG household, it's more of a medium to long term. We do evaluations to ensure that we hold our market share and we're actually increasing our market share. We have consumers' confidence for sure in it. We have a high demand on the ground for our cylinder. I mean, if you are in Kingston and people are asking when we're coming to Kingston, they see us advertising all over, but we'll be there very soon, man. We'll be there soon. It's a medium to long term growth period. We have been in existence now. We have been on the listed stock market now for a year and a half, and I would say we are doing quite well when it comes on to our growth in LPG household organically. It's not a significant growth as you would see with the automotive sales, but there is still growth in the automotive, and I guarantee you that for the second quarter you will see growth in it also. So it's a continual growth. So we have it in our eyesight, in our eye line, our vision ahead, and we take careful attention to it. We pay careful attention to it because we want to ensure that our market share is held, and we are growing the market share, which we have been doing. So just give us some time on the medium to long term, and you'll see Regency being a household name in the LPG.
Fantastic. So Swan in the Sky has a second question. What evaluation was made to determine the need for a membership program? And is there any benefit to limiting it to Jamaican citizens only?
No, well, when I was saying to Jamaican citizens only, that Jamaican citizens is Jamaicans, not citizens. Sorry, I don't think I mentioned citizens. I said Jamaicans, not only citizens or residents. So Jamaican diaspora. We are a proud country, and we want our people. So this is the thing for Regency now. We want our Jamaican persons to feel special, to know that they are part of a Jamaican-owned company, and to be proud to say about why I'm a Jamaican and I'm eligible for this membership program with this Jamaican company. So we're not limited, because when you think about it, we are in automotive fuels and we are in LPG cooking gas, right? So really and truly, who is to benefit more than our Jamaican people, because we are currently in our country, Jamaica, being in existence. When we expand regionally or across the Caribbean to the US and other first world countries, which we plan to do so, then now we will probably look and revisit the whole membership program and see how we can include. But I said the diaspora. So if you are a Jamaican born person, but you are a US citizen, but you're Jamaican born, you're a Jamaican, so you're probably a dual citizenship or whatever. You're in the US and Regency come to the US. I want the Jamaican to be proud to say, listen, I am a member of this. And then you will get excitement now from the US citizens. Boy, how can we become a member? And then we look at what we can do to include whichever country. If you go to the Caribbean, I'm a Jamaican, so I'm automatically become a member of Regency. I can apply, whatever. And then the Caribbean citizens will get jealous and say, boy, we want to become a part of Regency also. So it's a marketing strategy, basically, also for future. So this is also a part. This is a part of our future planning. So when I say we're planning for the future, this is definitely a part of our future plans. This is how far ahead that we are looking. So I'm glad for the question. I didn't want to expose so much as yet, but let me just let you know that, boy, this is a part of our future plan. So we're looking at, 10, 15 years down the line when Regency is across the region. It's a multinational. We as Jamaicans can feel proud to know that, boy, I'm a member by being a Jamaican of this Jamaican-owned company in a first world country, making waves in that first world country. Because that's what we're looking for,
All right. That Jamaican pride coming through, right? So we're going to go back to Tryan's question. I had shared this earlier, however, we didn't answer it because I thought it was connected to the second question, but it's not. So the question is, can shareholder rights be maintained when the company considers its next capital raise?
It can be maintained, but depends on what avenue we're going to raise the capital. So that can be a consideration. That will be a consideration. But right. I can't give a definite answer to it as yet. So yes, it will be maintained. We have a rights issue, whatever, but it is something that can happen. We'll definitely look at that.
It will be considered, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a few more questions to go. Devon is asking, what is accounting for the fluctuation in share price, especially at the end of each month? I don't know if you have the answer for that, but
I think the person meant Devon meant each quarter, but it's oh, sorry, I was going to mention in terms of the price. Okay, the share price. I guess it's market-wise, really, market condition.
Yeah, the market conditions. I don't think we can really speak to that.
All right. No problem. I don't know if that is for you to answer or if it really is a function of the economic environment that we're in, So Gregory is asking, is the station grill profitable so far, which we would have mentioned earlier. You would have mentioned earlier. Why I ask is that it is a very competitive area, plus the shops at the Negril station, are the shops at the Negril station already occupied?
No, I remember the Negril station is not owned by Regency. It's a lease property, so that would have to be a question for the landlord. But yeah, in regards to Negril profitability, very good. That's very good to say that better. It's exceeding our targets. Negril is exceeding our targets, and we have been quite competitive down there. Down that side of the island, and it has proven itself to be very profitable so far.
All right. Tavares.
Again, one second. Again, with our strategies that we have in place. Because you have to understand that we are going to come across competition. Competition is we welcome competition. We have to navigate around competition. But competition is good. The primary beneficiaries of competition are the consumers. So we always welcome competition. It is good for both sides. I don't know if all companies will agree with me, but that's how we look at it.
Okay. Tavares is asking, will Mr. Williams be purchasing shares in that capital raise?
I don't think I'll be eligible for that.
And also, just to remind everyone that there is not yet an announcement of a capital raise.
Right.
So it is, speculative at best at this point. Finessing Finance is asking if there are any plans for dividends given the profitability of the company.
Yes. Well, as I was saying, we definitely will pay dividends. We just want to have these service stations in operations currently. From the first quarter results, we can see the increase in our first quarter results. So, and we open up the 2 service stations. We want to have this third one out, operating for 2 quarters, and then now, based on that profitability, we will determine what is paid out or what expansion. For argument's sake, we don't know what might come on the table, and we might have to aggressively approach further expansion plans based on what comes across the table and how we finance it. But however, dividends is a priority of the company, and we are looking forward to a point in time when Regency will pay dividends. We have been listed for a year and a half now. We're not planning to make dividends payments be a long-term issue for us. We will not make it long-term for sure.
Okay. Devon is asking, is there a plan to invite operators to join the Regency brand with the option of earning shares for good performance, similar to the FESCO founders pool?
Well, we don't currently have a plan for that right now. As I said, it's something that could be looked at, but not in the short term, not right now. Our primary focus again is just to, in the short term, but to just complete this. But yes, something that we can consider.
All right. So that was actually our final question. We have a few comments. Finessing Finance says he just saw the news about the 71% increase in net profit for Q1, and congrats on that. Omar from very early out said, love the results. And I think that's a great place for us to hand over now to Mr. Williams for his closing remarks. Thank you so much to everyone who would have sent in their questions and participated in the chat. Andrew, over to you.
Thank you again, really. Okay, so Regency again, we have seen a significant increase in this last quarter in our revenues and our profits. Now, I will state again that we have now convinced that our machinery in place is proven to be successful. Our projections and our targets have come to fruition, and I am sure that this has gained confidence with our shareholders and just the general public who have been following Regency Petroleum and its operations. So we are quite pleased. We give thanks to God for what He has done for the company so far now, and we continue to look to Him to our future endeavors and what we plan, our plans for the future. We are guided by Him, and with that, and in our outlook for this year, for better this year, we just want to have these service stations completed. We are pleased with what we have been experiencing so far, and we are looking forward to increases in our revenues and profits over the next 2, 3, 4, over the next year. So after having Kingston service station open, we will now have 3 full service stations along with our head office dispensary, and we will be looking forward to experiencing increased profits, increased revenues, and which will aid in our expansion process. We are pleased with our LPG segment. We are pleased with our increase in sales in our bulk LPG. We have continued to invest organically in our household. We have been buying containers of cylinders one by one, but we have been increasing. Our market share have been increasing also. So we see generally our company's growth. We have been listed on the stock exchange for a year and a half now, and we have benefited significantly from this listing of the company on the stock exchange. Our company have been more established. We have been seeing our benefits from that. Our people, our Jamaican people, our Jamaican companies are quite pleased based on our feedback we have been getting. They are quite pleased with our performance so far. And we look forward to growing our Jamaican economy and our social development for the country and our community. We continue with our obligations. So far, we continue with our donations and our emphasis on schools and churches. We don't shy away from that. I mean, that's our priority when it comes on to our social responsibility. So our company is on a steady growth path currently, and we anticipate significant growth over the short term to medium term, and over the long term, we look to our company becoming a multinational. So we have a lot to look forward to. And again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our shareholders, for investing with us and for your confidence in the company. And I am sure that you'll be pleased when time comes for the dividend payout. So we can look forward to that and we will continue our growth towards increased profits and revenues, dividend payouts, expansion in the company, and expansion regionally, not only island-wide, but regionally. So we are on that path. And I'm happy that for all these earnings calls that we've been having over the past year and what we have predicted, what we have targeted, we're actually able to experience these increases across the board. And thanks again to everyone for taking the time out to be here with us today. And we look forward to seeing you at our next earnings call where we can speak about more increases. And thank God again for what he has done for the company. And we continue to be led by him. Thanks, everyone.